Coming up on the Monday edition of Carolina Week. Gunfire on Franklin Street? What does this mean for the future of Applechill?
Plus, how much debt are seniors carrying as they prepare to enter the working world?
In sports, the Bosch was rocking this weekend, but were enthusiastic fans enough to help Carolina top rival NC State?
Weathercaster Rob Ellis is here with a look at your 4-day forecast.
All that and more, Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Applechill is a Chapel Hill tradition, but afterchill can be a nightmare for the Chapel Hill police. Good evening, you're watching the April 24th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Crystal Calloway.
And I'm Shelley Basinger. Applechill is a long-running street fair in Chapel Hill. Afterchill is an unofficial celebration that starts in the late afternoon and runs into the evening. Violence has erupted during Afterchill before, but not to the extent we saw Sunday night.
You might have noticed there were a few more people on Franklin Street Sunday afternoon. But did you notice these policemen? They're patrolling Franklin Street from a rooftop, trying to control what is unofficially called Afterchill. Their presence became necessary. Gunshots rang out at about 8:45 near Caribou Coffee Sunday night. The crowd rushed out of the area, but some still decided to stay.
We feel relatively comfortably sure that these are gang related, at least the two individuals that were shot.
235 police officers patrolled the streets this year. The State Highway Patrol also joined in to help. And police set up floodlights to make sure all areas of Franklin Street would be fully lit. All this for an event that's not town sanctioned and cost the town of Chapel Hill about $150,000 for police support. Sonia Shaw coordinates Applechill every year. She hopes it won't be canceled because of what happens after the festival shuts down.
As the evening goes and it gets later, there are different crowds that, kind of come down. And for the most part, it's probably less than 1% of people that actually cause problems. But we still have to deal with that. Even though it is a part of Afterchill, the town still has to deal with that as well.
Some UNC students are dealing with it by starting an online petition, calling the event a serious nuisance that's a disgrace to the city. But some festival goers, like local resident Frank Herland, says he's enjoyed the family-oriented daytime festival for 10 years and would like to come back next year.
See the crafts, see the sights, run into friends. I think Applechill's maybe gotten a bad rap, but I think it's a good place to go. Bring your family.
Even though families enjoy the daytime festival, Mayor Kevin Foy says he doesn't think any member of the town council will support the continuation of Applechill.
The senior ball is supposed to be a fun way to say goodbye to your classmates, but reporter Paula Cerruti tells us this year the fun was cut short.
Music, women in fancy shoes and men in tuxedos. It was just like any previous senior ball.
One last night to say goodbye, and we're making the most of it.
Party, 24/7.
Enjoy our years.
Exactly.
Enjoy the last week of senior night.
Then things changed. Everyone was dancing when about 11:40, the lights of the Carolina Inn ballroom came on. Seniors looked disappointed. The party was over. They were forced out of the room by the police, who said the manager of the inn found too many of these. But senior class president Boy Winsnat said drinking wasn't the problem.
The manager of the Carolina Inns found a lot of broken glass on the dance floor, and he felt that it wouldn't be in everyone's best interest. It was pretty much a safety issue.
We never saw any broken glass on the dance floor. Inn manager Mike Hayes didn't want to talk to Carolina Week. It's not clear what really happened to force organizers to end the ball. In Chapel Hill, I'm Paula Cerruti, Carolina Week.
The ball ended only about 30 minutes early, but many of the seniors still left upset about how it ended.
Greenhouse gases and alternative transportation are on the minds of some folks in our area. SURGE, Students United for a Responsible Global Environment, hosted an Earth Day Summit Saturday as a way to spark discussion about dangerous emissions and energy efficiency. One of the initiatives already underway is a bike loan program, which allows free bike rentals in local communities and on campus. Executive Director of Surge, Dennis Marcato Sereno, says becoming a less car-dependent society is an important step in cutting pollution.
Because transportation is a really big factor of emitting carbon dioxide and other gases. And so we need to work on that. We can use transit, but we also need to get on our bicycles to get around.
At least 30 bikes will be available when the program launches in the next couple of months. If you're looking for a way to get rid of your old cell phone and help a good cause at the same time, look no further than the Student Union. You'll find a new cell phone collection bin beside the Alpine Bagel Bakery. The recycling program is sponsored by UNC's Office of Waste Reduction. All salvageable cell phones are donated to charitable organizations.
Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated has a 20-year tradition of concern for the homeless. The fraternity collects student donations for area homeless shelters and wants to do more. Frat Brothers pitched tents on the basketball court outside Craig Hall Friday night and invited students to a sleep out to raise awareness about this social issue. They served food and refreshments and talked with visitors about how much they have compared to the poor and hungry. Senior Matthew Winter says events like this show what his fraternity is all about.
We can't be men of service and we can't be college students at the same time and not recognize that there are plagues on our community that we can't alleviate by any means, but we can definitely help. So this is necessary.
Alpha Phi Alpha collected more than $300 for the Interfaith Council, but members of it say that the real success was a big turnout on a busy Friday night. The frat says this shows how important the issue of homelessness is to UNC students.
With graduation less than 2 weeks away, seniors are starting to worry about having to pay back all the debt they amassed while in college.
Reporter Caitlin Kleiner joins us live from the newsroom to tell us more. Caitlin?
Thanks, Crystal. In July, the interest rate for student loans is rising, and that's pretty bad news for students struggling under a mountain of debt.
UNC student Russell Papineau always wanted to be a photographer for National Geographic. But instead of studying photography in college, he's majoring in business. When he graduates, he'll owe about $50,000 in student loans. He says financial factors played into his decision to study business.
When students have loans and the money they owe is accumulating, I definitely think it puts pressure on them to get a higher paying job so they can pay them.
I spoke with Assistant Director for Financial Services Tony Patterson about the Stafford loan, the most commonly used loan for students. Patterson says on July 1st, the interest rate will become fixed at 6.8%. The variable rate would be about the same next year, but could go up after that. Patterson thinks having the rate locked in will be better.
So if anyone's about to graduate, they definitely want to talk with their lender, and if they're a Carolina student, that would typically be the College Foundation, about the possibility or the option of loan consolidation to get a fixed interest rate at the current rates.
UNC student Catherine Stuver is from Ohio, and she'll have about $60,000 of debt when she graduates. At this point, she has other things to worry about.
The student loans are completely separate from my mind. There's no point in getting stressed out while I'm in school because I'm paying a substantial amount of money to go to school, so why ruin the experience?
And Papineau agrees with Stuver. He says there's no point in stressing out about it and missing out on the fun of college.
Now, one drawback to the fixed rate plan for current students, they'll have to start paying back their loans up to 6 months earlier than they would under the variable plan. Crystal?
A lot of seniors will certainly benefit from that information. Caitlin Kleinert reporting live from the newsroom. Thanks, Caitlin.
On the hit TV show CSI, it's one of my favorite shows, by the way, DNA evidence often leads to convictions.
But in real life, the science isn't as exact as it is on TV. A look at what can affect the accuracy of DNA tests coming up.
Women's Center, may I help you?
The Women's Center is a nonprofit agency that has served as a meeting place for women in the Triangle since 1979, making it one of the oldest freestanding women's centers in the country. The mission of the Women's Center is to provide a supportive community where all women can inspire each other to grow, both personally and professionally.
I was going through a crisis at home and I contacted Helpline and they referred me directly to the Women's Center.
I think the Women's Center is really important for the community because it offers so many different kinds of resources, and if we don't have the resource here, we can find an avenue or a way for women to find the answers that they need.
It is inspiring. It's so exciting to be a part of something that really matters and really changes things.
You can support the Women's Center through membership or by sending a contribution to the Women's Center, 210 Henderson Street, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27514.
In the Duke lacrosse case, prosecutors say there was no DNA evidence in the first round of testing that matched the defendants. But medical reporter Lynn Thomason tells us DNA evidence, or lack thereof, doesn't always establish guilt or innocence.
UNC geneticist Kirk Wilhelmsen stores more than 10,000 vials of blood in his lab. He labels each with a barcode before examining the DNA. This helps prevent mix-ups that lead to incorrect results. But lab errors can still occur.
The technology of figuring out whether the DNA is the same is essentially perfect. The problem is in how it's handled by people that do it.
North Carolina trial lawyer Diane Savage says lab mistakes can lead to wrongful convictions.
This was a double homicide back in 1993, and this is how the evidence has been kept all through the years. It's in this.
For 9 years in this case, Savage has tried to overturn the verdict of a man she says was wrongly convicted of murder. She says her client's clothes commingled in the evidence bin with the bloody clothes of the victim, an error that led to her client's conviction. Wilhelmsen says his genetics lab doesn't do criminal work. Still, he estimates just 1 or 2 errors for every 1,000 tests.
We don't have the burden of trying to make sure that we make absolutely no mistakes. The forensic laboratories have this burden.
People think that DNA is the be-all and end-all to a case. They think that once there is a DNA match, that's the end of the story. But you really need to look behind the results.
Savage says most labs carry out DNA tests properly. However, only a few mistakes can cause legal problems. In Chapel Hill, I'm Lynn Thomason, Carolina Week.
A recent study showed by the Innocence Project in New York that testing errors played a role in 65 of 86 wrongful convictions eventually overturned.
The secret to getting kids to do something that's good for them is to make it so much fun they don't know it's good for them. Saturday was Kids Fitness Day at the Chapel Hill Carborough YMCA. Children visited the Y to play on the inflatable toys like the trampoline and the slide. Whitney Kahn says the goal was to educate children and their parents about exercise, healthy food choices, and general safety.
We just promote healthy activity amongst kids, whether it's being active in sports or a healthy lifestyle with eating and exercise.
A few familiar faces from Carolina athletics participated in the event. They played games with the kids, signed autographs, and even had a little fun with a parachute. Providing for all of the needs of a baby or a little one can be an expensive endeavor. One campus group is hoping to make that challenge a little easier. Carolina Hope sponsored a Baby Hope Day Friday in the pit. The group offered free baby items, including clothing, stuffed animals, and diapers to everyone. People from all facets of campus life stopped by the tables to browse through the many baby items. Event participant Melanie Simpson says it feels great to help new moms.
We had a ton of things just to give away, and we still have a lot left, but a lot of people just were able to walk away with bags full of baby items.
Carolina Hope sponsors a Baby Hope Day like this one every semester.
And it looks like they had some great weather to do it in. Weathercaster Rob Ellis joins us now.
That's right. I like that big duck that they had there at the end. That was cute. But yeah, we did have some nice weather, and it looks like that nice weather is going to continue for a little bit at least. It looks like the last day of classes is going to bring some warm weather to Chapel Hill, and students are going to take advantage of that, of course. The higher temperatures are going to be nice, and you'll be spending some time outside, I hope. I'll have your complete forecast coming up after the break. Stay with us.
I think you should wear a tie.
Dad, nobody wears ties to school.
Tie says you're serious. It'll make a good impression. And remember, you're there to study,
to learn, and to make something of myself. I got it.
Almost half of all UNCF students are the first in their family to go to college.
They have some great architecture classes.
Dad, I'm not really interested in architecture.
Well, keep your options open. And remember, no girls until your
my work is done.
And I'd make sure that I got my lunch.
Dad, you're not going. I am.
I know.
Well, listen, we better get going. Don't want to be late the first day, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're the first to go, you're going for a lot of people. The United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Well, thank you for joining us for Carolina Week Weather. I'm meteorologist Rob Ellis. We're going to take a look at the headlines for your last week of class. We'll have a warm start. We've been seeing some nice weather over the past couple of days, but some rain chances are moving in. That's going to give us a cool down later in the week as a cold front passes, and we will see some rain for your hump day. If we can get over hump day, I think you'll be nice for the weekend after the last week of classes. Let's go ahead and take a look at the big picture on the national satellite map. A little bit of moisture over the area right now, and that's in the form of some cloudiness, and we will see some showers over the course of the next couple of days, but those are only going to be light rain showers. We had those severe storms this weekend, brought us some moisture, and that increases our chances as we get those temperatures up into the 80s. Also notice this little disturbance here. That's going to be pushing across the country and making its way into our area by Wednesday, and that's why we have those rain chances. Let's zoom in a little closer here to the southeast. Notice the clouds that are over the triangle right now. They're actually producing a little bit of rainfall for our area. That's good news. We all know we're in a drought, and we need every little bit that we can get. As long as we continue to get a little bit of moisture in the area, we'll see those showers and storms. Let's look at radar to show you the showers that are going on mainly to the south and east of us now, but with that moisture in place, we can see these pop up as temperatures are going to be in the 80s. Let's look at the surface map. We have a little bit of a disturbance. Now for those showers, in order to get those showers, you really need two things. You need a little bit of moisture and you need a little bit of lift. Well, we have the moisture in place from the showers and storms we saw this weekend, and the lift is coming in the form of this little cold front right here. So as that pushes through, it's going to make the atmosphere unstable, and that's what's giving us that chance for showers. Now out west, here's the storm that's going to be moving through, the storm system I should say. That'll be pushing across, and that's going to give us a chance for a drastic cool down on Wednesday. Temperatures are going to be taking a nosedive. Let's take a look at the 4-day forecast here for you. Starting out Tuesday looks nice. Temperatures in the 80s. You can't argue with that, but watch what happens. Temperatures go from 83 to 62. We're going to drop 20 degrees here, and as that cold front pushes through, we have that chance for rain. As we make our way into Thursday and Friday, temperatures are going to begin to warm up again, so it's going to be a temperature roller coaster as we go from the 80s to the 60s, back up to the 70s, and then back down to the 60s again, with temperatures overnight are going to be in the 40s, so that's going to be a little bit of a shock to the system. But I figured for the last week of classes, we could throw a little bit of everything in there. We have a little bit of sun, a little bit of rain, and temperatures are going to do a little bit of a roller coaster for you. So it'll be nice if we can get through a little bit of the storminess.
Definitely. Well, I'm glad we saw some rain on Saturday because I washed my car Friday, so.
Yeah, it might be a shade of green before, but
yeah, with all that pollen.
With all the pollen in the area.
I haven't washed my car in about 4 months, so I don't have to worry about that one.
Sportscaster Michael Crow joins us now. And Mike, you know, the year's almost over, no national championships, but all in all, I think we did pretty well.
We can't win it every year, but we certainly did have a great semester. And coming up in sports, it was a semester for the memories, from baseball's #1 ranking to women's basketball Final Four run. We'll capture the plays and the players who made this semester unforgettable.
When I found out my jeans were made using child labor in sweatshops, I wrote a letter to the company saying, reconsider your labor practices. A few months later, I get a letter back saying, thanks for being a loyal customer, and they included a coupon for a 25% discount on their jeans. So I got smart, wrote letters every day to all the stores that carry the brand, asking them to stop supporting the companies who use child labor in sweatshops. And I just kept getting letters back, thanking me for my concerns, and more coupons for more discounts on more jeans. So I'm telling my friend about it, and she flips out, saying that between all the letters and coupons, some paper company cut down a small forest, driving off 2 indigenous tribes, hundreds of endangered animals, killing thousands of plant species, some of which may have contained vaccines for HIV, cancer, and syphilis. Meanwhile, the guys cutting down the trees are 13-year-old kids who will work night and day for months just to save up enough money to buy a pair of jeans made by child labor in sweatshops.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Michael Crow. This is my last game, if you will, for Carolina, but I've been preparing for it, and I don't think I'm going to pull a JJ.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine. The top-ranked baseball team took on NC State in a 3-game set this weekend, Game 2 was suspended Saturday because of rain, moving the finish of that contest to Sunday. We pick up the game in the bottom of the 14th, where catcher Tim Frederich doubles to deep right field. He eventually scores when state pitcher Sam Walls throws to an invisible man at third. Check this out. Whoops. And Carolina goes on to win 3-2. In Game 3, we had a packed house at the Bosch. Daniel Bard dominated with 8 strikeouts. Chad Flack provided all the offense the Heels would need, and Carolina won it 4-0 and swept state.
The difference between sweeping a team and then just trying to win the series in that last game is big. It's just a huge confidence builder for our team, and that hour break that we had was, everyone's up, and I'm sure they were pretty down in their dugout.
On Senior Day Sunday, pitcher Crystal Cox, the lone graduating member of the softball team, took to the mound against Georgia Tech. The 28th ranked Heels took the series from their ACC rival after losing by 1 in Saturday's game. Aggressive base running in the second led to 3 runs, and it gave Carolina control early in the game. The Yellow Jackets came out swinging, though, in the third, and they threatened to take the lead. But strong defense from Carolina backed up Cox, who earned her 25th win of the season. The Heels rolled 4-2. Cox will graduate as the most decorated player in Carolina softball history. With a chance to three-peat, the Carolina handball team took on the best the nation had to offer this weekend. Reporter Jennifer Maness was there.
We pick it up in the semifinals, Carolina against Air Force. The game was heated, and thanks to strong play by sophomore Alex McGlynn, the Heels came out on top, 17-15. The final game pitted Carolina against the 2003 champion, West Point. McGlynn says West Point brought its A game.
Those West Point guys, they're just, they're used to working out every day, training. They're in great physical condition, and we stuck with them and hit them just as hard as they're hitting us. So we had a good game.
After 2 halves of intense defense and show-stopping scoring, Carolina took the 2006 national championship, 20-13. Wade Sutton says it made his senior year complete.
Three-peating as college national championships, we've never done that before, and so, until we won that one 3 years ago, we never won one either. So just going out, winning 3 in a row is just something that I don't know if we'll ever do again.
Looks like Betzer Gym will be housing a new banner. In Chapel Hill, I'm Jennifer Maness, Carolina Week Sports.
It's been a great semester for sports. Men's and women's basketball in the big dance, baseball ranked #1. And now it's time to take a look back on this semester's highlights to the sounds of Yellow Card.
There's nothing for me here, it's all the same.
memorable semester, and it's not over yet. In the Carlisle Cup against Duke, Carolina is leading by 1 point with one baseball game left to play, so we'll see how that turns out.
If for nothing else, I love it when we end up on a better note than Duke.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks, Michael.
Sure.
Thanks, Mike. Here if you need this.
Thanks.
Well, Shelley, it's hard to believe we're in the very last week of the spring semester.
I know, and that means the college careers of many seniors is coming to an end. Coming up, we'll look back at memories from the past 4 years at Carolina.
What services come to mind when you think of the American Red Cross?
The Red Cross does blood drives, don't they?
They help out with natural disasters.
Giving blood.
Tornadoes and hurricanes.
Blood.
Natural disasters.
I'll bet you didn't know that the American Red Cross also provides emergency services for military families and delivers health and safety instruction in first aid, lifeguard training, and CPR. Contact your local Red Cross chapter to learn more about the services they provide.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Many of us are about to leave this special place. Graduation is almost here.
Here's one final look at some of the events and images that shaped our time at Carolina.
It's just one of those moments in college where you realize that your friends and the organization you're part of really matter to you and you matter to them.
As we say goodbye for the last time this semester, all of our fellow graduating seniors are joining us on the desk.
If you want to see any of these great people and their stories this year, please go to carolinaweek.org and catch our summer edition for Carolina Week Summer. That does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, Mom.